the small village of Obinagu, a young boy named Chiemerie lost both of his parents at just 12 years old. With nowhere else to go, he was taken in by his uncle. But instead of love, he was met with hatred, especially from his uncle's wife, Nnenna. She saw him as a burden, a curse, something to be thrown away. One day, after a small mistake, Nnenna shouted at him. "Get out of this house," she screamed. "You are not my son." Chiemerie begged, cried, knelt in the dust, but her heart was torn. That night, barefoot and hungry, he walked with no destination, tears soaking his face. He found shelter in an uncompleted building. There was no door, no roof, no blanket, only broken cement and cold winds. He lay there, staring at the moon, asking God why his life was full of pain. But even in that brokenness, something in his heart refused to give up. Days later, he remembered his father's old home, a place that once echoed with laughter. But when he reached there, the house was covered in bush, turned into a dumping ground. Yet he stayed. It was his only hope. Years went by. At 16, Chiemerie moved to the city. He carried goods in the market, washed cars, slept under bridges. He was mocked, insulted, but never gave up. He saved every naira, dreaming of one day building something better. He taught himself business, learned online, and kept working. Nobody saw the fire burning in that poor boy's soul. By 22, Chiemerie had started a small business. And from that tiny hustle came his breakthrough. Grace found him. Contracts rolled in. Doors opened. Before 30, he became a billionaire. Not just wealthy, but wise, humble, and kind. He didn't forget his roots. He returned to Obinagu, not in rags, but in a convoy of cars. And in the same place where his father's house once stood, now stood a mansion. A symbol of pain turned to purpose. He sponsored his younger sister, Amoka, to school abroad, something they both once dreamed of under a leaking roof. Years later, news came, his uncle had died. And Nnenna, the same woman who chased him away, had lost everything. The bank took their house over unpaid loans. She now begged on the streets, moving from one family to another. One day, by fate, she saw him step out of a sleek black SUV. Afraid, she tried to hide. But he saw her, and gently said to his bodyguard, "Bring her." Tears filled her eyes. She dropped to her knees, ashamed. "I'm sorry, my son, forgive me." The boy she once rejected was now the man she needed. But Chiemerie looked at her and said, "I won't pay you back evil for evil. God lifted me. And today, I forgive you." He gave her a home. Not because she deserved it, but because grace had changed his heart. This is the story of Chiemerie. From rag to grace. From rejection to restoration. From pain to purpose. Because truly, God is not a man.
The end.